When you import data into Power Pivot in Excel 2013, or include an existing Excel table in Power Pivot, you can manage that data inside of Power Pivot just like you would any other Excel worksheet. And in this movie, I will show you how to use the Manage Columns sample file to show you some of the techniques that you can use. The first thing I need to do is open Power Pivot, so I'll click the Power Pivot ribbon tab, and then at the left edge of the tab, click Manage. Doing so opens Power Pivot and displays the existing data. The first thing I notice, just looking at the data, is that the date field is very narrow, the date column here. To resize it, I will hover the mouse pointer over the left edge of the header. So you can see here that the mouse pointer has changed to a two-way pointing horizontal arrow. And all I need to do is drag that column edge to the side, dragging it to the right, and when I release it, you can see that the entire value inside the field is displayed. The second thing you notice, I'm sure, is that the date is followed by a time, and that time is midnight, 12 a.m. Because the times are all the same, they don't add any information, so we can reformat the field so that it displays only the date. To do that, I'll click any cell inside of the date column, and then on the Home tab of Power Pivot, I'll click the Format control. You can see it highlighted here, and I'll select the format that I want. And in this case, it's the second one down, the one that says 3/14/2001. That's the pattern we're looking for. So I'll click that, and you can see that the date is now just the date, and the time has been eliminated. And I can also resize the column by dragging its right edge so that it's no wider than it needs to be. The final thing I'd like to show you is how to freeze a column. If you've worked with Excel, you know that sometimes it can be handy to freeze either rows or columns so that they stay either at the top or the left edge of the screen when you scroll. That's a very handy technique for working with either very long or very wide worksheets. In Power Pivot, if you want to freeze a column, all you need to do is click any cell in that column, and then on the Design tab, click Freeze. Doing so adds a black line to the column or columns that you selected. And now, regardless of how far you scroll to the right, the Order ID column will stay visible. So if I resize the Power Pivot window by dragging its right edge, so that not everything is displayed, and I click the horizontal scroll bar so that we go to the right, you'll see that the Order ID column remains even though I've scrolled beyond it if I hadn't frozen it. So just keep going over to Total, and so on, and when I scroll back, it remains in place. And I'll just resize the window again. If you want to unfreeze a column, click any cell in the column, then click the Freeze button's down arrow, and click Unfreeze. Now if I were to scroll to the right, the Order ID column would disappear instead of staying put. Those are the basics of managing columns inside of Power Pivot in Excel 2013. These techniques are very similar to managing columns inside of an Excel worksheet, but there are just enough differences that I wanted to show you so you'd know what to do immediately.